All right, we'll see how this works. Boy, I had a hell of a time getting on. YouTube is monkeying around. Looks like we got one viewer, so it is working. I could not get in. Okay, so now we're gonna make some ribs. Let's see how many we need. We need 4 in the center. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I need 13 ribs like this. And I could probably use these. Yeah, I just go ahead and use these, I guess. I guess I better get some stick pins. Let's see, we got 4 watchers now. Hello, Nelson. Get some pins. I've lost my box of pins. I wonder if I got 17 pins in this little box. Darn it. Remember, tonight is Charles's night. Where the hell are my pins? I guess we got some motor pads here we could use. I don't have 17 pins in this pile. And I would need 17, I need 34 pins. I got a whole big box of pins somewhere. Big box. People working over here. Yeah. All right, tell YouTube, quit monkeying around. There's no need. It works fine. You see, the thing is, them guys don't do anything, so they have to do something to make their bosses think they're doing something. And what they're doing is screwing stuff up. Is this going to work? Well, there ain't a whole lot of purchase on that thing. Okay. Here's the center ribs. So if we got 17, 8 and 8 is 16, so 9 would be the center. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the center right there. These ribs are so, they just split when I put the pin in. Okay, so we got how many of these? We got 4. No, we got 3. So sorry about not being able to get on. Not my fault. Okay, that should cut out another one. I don't know. I just can hardly bring myself to using these things. They're just so heavy. Okay. That's the center rib. And we got a thing there. So let's see here. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just ain't quite enough ribs there, it doesn't seem like. What a Mickey Mouse system. Okay, let me look at the plans here. The plans? No. Yeah. There is only 3 center ribs. And I'll tell you this, the ribs don't fit the leading edge very good. These are the tips. 16th inch tips. I have to make them out of 8th. don't fit very good at all. If you're trying to build a super nice airplane, they don't fit very good. We'll go with what I got. I don't want this thing to cost any more than it already has. There we go. See, we need a little stick to get in there. No, there's a little stick. I don't particularly care for this idea, but we'll build it as is. God, what a piece of shit. Well, these ain't really laser cut. These are die crush. I don't know if you remember the old gallows kits, but basically what we got here. Die crush. Die crush. So far, that's what we got. Should all snap together in hand. This rib's split. Really junk. Hard wood. You got to remember, this kit's probably 50 years old. This is not a Brodak reproduction. This is a top flight kit. Okay. No wonder why everybody got frustrated building this stuff. Let's see, it's 4 o'clock, so we'll go for a while, and I got to give a break for Charles to come on. He's going to need a code. See, the ribs just split. They're so hard. Not good. I could lighten it up. I'll weigh these ribs. I mean, I'll weigh this thing. It's just sickening. So hard. Shit. I didn't open them holes up. Nope. Didn't open that one up. We gotta have holes to pass lead outs through. You own the building pretty straight though. That's all I can ask for. I like to find my box of pins. Well, gotta glue that rib back together before we go any farther. Naturally, it's clogged. Okay. I gotta get some more Teflon too. These things they suck. They continually clog. Steve's gonna come over tomorrow. He was gonna help me with my trailer, but I got the neighbor to help me put it away. I've got some repair jobs to do on airplanes from traveling, hangar rash. The Blue Viper got a hole in the rudder from a wheel. My Junar got a hole in the wing, so we're going to be doing some repair work. Been windy today. There's no way it could have flew today. No way. Fortunately, it should start settling down August. Going to be a Johnson SS. The whole purpose of this build was to annoy people because you can't put a muffler on a Johnson. And they're loud. They're kind of like a Fox 59 loud. A little off. A little off. Need some more ribs. Here we go. Yeah, die crush. Plywood. Die crush plywood. Let's see here. This is the inboard that we're working on. You guys ever built wings in your hands like this? Used to do it when I was a kid. And now I'm just a big kid. Gonna have to work on this week some fuel tanks. So if you want to watch me do that, we're gonna be working on fuel tanks and landing gear this week. I gotta get Craig his landing gear. I got the mold for it now, so. Been hundreds of gear made off that mold. So I know if I can't do it, it ain't the mold. These ribs are ridiculous. Reminds me, anybody that's been to Brodak has played with Junkyard Wars or seen the material in Junkyard Wars. That's what this material reminds me of. Pine boxes. Let's see. Pine boxes. I'm gonna look at this and say, no, we're gonna remake them. Cause these ain't no good. Matter of fact, I can't put this one in. It's shit. Okay. So we're going to sit down and cut a rib set. These are garbage. We're going to try to get away with using their ribs, but no, can't do it. We need 17. 3 centers. How would you guys feel if I built a piece of crap? Yeah, Bob's your uncle. That's Elliot Scott. So we're going to make some new ribs. These are crap. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 minus 3 is 14 centers and 14 mains and 3 centers. So I can draw them up. There. Look at how cheesy that stuff is. You know, I could stack sand these. I could stack sand these and make it a whole lot faster. I only need 17 or 14. But then I gotta cut templates. So I would just cut them by hand. Ain't no big deal. We got nothing better to do. Or I don't. So oh yeah, I can do a lot of stuff. I can do a lot of stuff. We'll need this to cut holes. Okay, we need 3 of these. We're not gonna need this many sheets. Even that cut is terrible. Let's see. Yeah, it's good to have my car parked where it belongs and the trailer back where it belongs. Because I live in the hood and I don't want to come out at night with a bat or a pistol. Of course, they don't mess with me much anymore after they found out who I was. Okay. 2 sheets tops. Yep, I got a $65 set of templates and a leading and trailing edge. That's all right. They probably looked at it and went, "Oop, nope, this is not for me." See. Okay, we're done with centers. Now I need 13 more of these. Let's get a good template here. This looks fairly good. Okay. So 13 more. Maybe 3 sheets. Back memories. Learn to do stunts with a Flite Streak. First learned to go in a circle without crashing on a Cox PT-19. Then went to a streak, then to a Goldberg shoestring 50 years ago. Yeah, I know exactly how that works. Let me get a drink of water. So we're going to do, how many we're going to get out of here? We got 2. That's 6. 8. So it's going to be 2 sheets and 1. Unless I do it like that. Nope, we didn't get a line there. Nope, that doesn't offer much either. Nope, that just kind of throws shit in the fire. So it's going to be 2 and 1. 2 and 1 rib. So what do you guys think of how the fuselage turned out? I think it turned out really nice. Not bad for a couple hours work. It's longer than a Flite Streak. It's 2 inches longer, inch tail and inch nose. So I can get more than a 2-ounce tank on it. Yep, couldn't bring myself to use them ribs. They were shit. Rockwood. Ten more. 10 more after this one. But see, I got so much stuff that I don't have to go anywhere to get any parts for this. I don't have to go to the hobby shop, you know. It used to be when I was a kid. Oh, I gotta go to the hobby shop and buy a 10-cent wheel. Yeah, we might get the 1 out of this sheet, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Looks like it. It's going to be 2 sheets. Okay. Just barely. Okay. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 7 more. And we'll cut them and fit them. Yeah, you wouldn't have got that fuse out of this piece of wood. This is like pine. I mean, this is a bat. This has got to be 10 or 15 pound wood. I mean, this is like pine. It's unreal. How they could send that to somebody, I got no idea. Yeah, we used to ride. We had 3 hobby shops within bicycle distance. We had my dad's hobby shop. We had Ed's Cranes, Trains, and Hobbies. And then we had Covina Hobby, Ed's Covina Hobby. It was Cranes, Trains, and Hobbies, Ed's Covina Hobby, and Trident. And I basically had everything. I even dabbled in some HO stuff back then, HO trains. I had a brass big boy HO. I had a brass Shay. Them are worth big money now. I didn't really much care for trains. I like building the layout, but once you got the layout built, it's not much fun to me. I mean, running the train is boring. I always been an airplane guy. I can remember. I've always been a scratch builder too. I mean, I built a few kits, but scratch builder, you get better wood. I get to do it my way instead of somebody else's stupid way. Used to sit on the floor and stick pins through the rib set to make the ribs, outlines. Then got those from Well, I think of Model Airplane News or it wasn't Model Aviation, it was Model Airplane News or one of them non-AMA magazines. AMA has always been shit. I'll probably stack sand these to a point just to make them all the same. But either that or sand them when they're all together and the wings all together. I'm going to say I need 7. Yep. American Modeler, Model 8, Model. What is this? Model Aviation, Model Airplane News. There was one more. Model Builder, yeah. And in the back, they had the plans. I think they were 69 cents. Flying models, yeah, flying models. That's Gary Thayer. He bought the all the plans, and there was a rumor that it was going to come back, but I'm afraid we're a dying breed, guys. We're just we were around when flight was new, not brand new, but you know, X1, X15, Gemini, all that stuff was new. I mean, I wasn't there in 1903, but okay, one more. Now, kids, no big deal. Airplanes, no big deal. We used to sit on the floor and draw pictures of war, P-51s and Spitfires and F4U Corsair. So let's see, we got 17. We got 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Nope, need one more. 9 and 7 is 16. Need one more. Nobody makes anything anymore. That's for sure. I wanted a stereo when I was a kid. You know how I got a stereo? I made it. Bought Heathkit. Soldered the parts together. Built the cabinet. So did my dad. He was a hi-fi nut. He had a Gerard turntable and I don't know, some type of big amplifiers. All I did was had a radio. Heathkit. Had Rector sets. Rector set, that's metal. That's too dangerous for Johnny. Okay. Now let's start cutting them up. Cut them into smaller pieces, I think. We use these for wingtip braces here, this piece of wood. I remember when it was okay to ride in the back of a pickup truck, not have seat belts. They didn't have seat belts in cars. Of course, the cars were tanks. If you hit something, wasn't that big a deal. Now they're pop bottles and beer cans, and they just fold up. Too much safety. My World War II dad had it down. Don't eat the paint. You stick your finger on electricity, you're probably going to get shot. Hey, thank you, Charles. Let me show the world that we got people that appreciate me or whatever. Yeah, you know, I was listening to Harriet Hagman today, and she talked about her mother being 103, living all kind of changes. Well, most of us that are 60 and up have seen quite a few changes. But at least we knew which bathroom to use back then. I think I need to get rid of that banner so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Well, I'm hoping to inspire some kids or somebody to build something, not buy it. It's not that hard to build. You just have to sit down, put your mind to it, and do it. Or as my dad would say, with determination. You know, if I were to come up here and, you know, come in my shop and sit and look at something for 2 hours, nothing gets done. But, you know, if you sit down and do it, not that big a deal. It'll be done before you know it. Okay, now I'm gonna have to slice this up, slice and dice. Hey, Miguel, new member. Thank you. We got a new member. I thought you were a member before. Maybe you were. I don't know. Rejoin, maybe. I'll have to look. I don't do a whole lot of member content. Once in a while I do some members only videos, but that really helps support the channel. All this stuff that I do, I'm not working anymore, so all this stuff I do, I got to buy the wood, the glue, and I spend hours and hours doing this for you. I got both. This is the combat version. This is the combat version, and this is the SS, the super stunt. How does it compare? Well, Fox 35s, I think were 6 ounces, and these are about 7 ounces, so they're slightly heavier. They got a good 2.4 brake. I haven't had a Johnson motor in 50 years. But I had them and they ran good. A whole lot better than a Stallion 35. Those were paperweights. How many of you guys remember K&B Stallion 35s? Believe it or not, my engine of choice, well, I really like the McCoy 40s, but the powerful engines back then were Super Tiger 46s. And I look at those 46s now, they got no power compared to a 60. But we weren't pulling big monster airplanes back then. We were pulling 40-ounce airplanes. We'll have to do this a little different, I think. Let's check the fit on this and see how it works. That's a trailing edge. Ah, damn, already broke a rib. Okay, dumbass. It's only wood. So I got to cut the tail exactly on the line. Let's see about the leading edge. Yeah. We might cut another one. I'll leave that out. I don't want to put together no shit. Not with this much work in a stupid Flite Streak. My dad would say, it's got to be perfect. And to me, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it better be damn close. Yep, Stallion 35s were junk. I didn't much care for foxes either, but some guys liked them. I like McCoy 40s. Around here, I got a McGass 40 somewhere. I haven't seen it in a while. I know it's here. That's a George Aldrich ringed 40 Series 21 liner. Head, rod, piston, lightning bolt case. And he retimed them. They ran good. But they didn't, McCoys didn't last long. And the reason it didn't last long is yeah. The reason why, Charles, is that we didn't understand fuel back then. Or maybe you did, but I didn't. If we'd have run Fox fuel, 28 or 29% caster, they wouldn't have burned up so quick. Because I didn't know anything about fuel back then. Shit, I ran Cox fuel in my McCoys. And then you're right, the 35 didn't last long. Kind of run whenever you could get your hands on. Missile mist, I ran that. That ain't no good. I got one around here somewhere. I haven't seen it in a while, but because I'm not using it on anything. Not going to use it on anything. Of course, I got a reworked Aldrich Super Tiger 46 in my Continental. But to be honest with you, in my Profile Viper, I got a Brian Gardner 46 with ABC liner. I think that's a better engine. Yeah. Once I found out about castor, I started using Blenzol castor oil, which is go-kart castor oil for McCullough. Got a real weird smell to it, real sweet. Must be pretty boring to watch me cut out ribs. But this ain't nothing. 17 ribs compared to a Viper, 80. I can do 80 in an evening. Yeah, I just gave a quart of clots to Joe Gilbert. That one quart of clots was 25 bucks. So now I got to buy another quart. But so my fuel delivery cost me 25 bucks. Hazmat included. Joe delivered it to me. You guys, if you guys are interested in carbon tanks, I'm going to the Nats. Let me know now, and I'll make the tanks now because that'll save you the shipping. Everybody that's seen them likes them. I've sold quite a few now. To put a drip under a put a drip under a politician under spray. I don't know what that means. You Kiwi guys talk different than I do. Must be nice to live in New Zealand and have fresh kiwis. Probably just pick them off the tree. I was gonna sand these ribs, but I think I'm just gonna bar sand the wing. That way they all match perfect. They're pretty close now, but they're gonna be a little bit big. At least I'll be able to stick a pin through them. Yeah, we ain't got too many more to go. Then I gotta do the slots and the holes. I thought kiwi was a bird. No, it's a fruit. Of course, kiwi's a bird too, I think. Saw a video, saw a video of a guy living in Florida, and he was fishing, and the alligator got up on his boat. Pretty good sized gator too. The gator got his armpits up to the railing, the side. The guy just reached over and swatted him on his nose. Said, "Get down! You can't come in here." And the gator went away. Pretty cool video. Now this is an event or type airplane I'm not really interested in, so I'll probably end up giving or selling this airplane. Just, I'll fly it a couple times, but like I say, it's not something that I aspire to do, flight streaks. But I know there's a lot of guys out there that like ringmasters, flight streaks, shoestrings, Mustangs, Messerschmitts, all those Midwest kits. Buster. I had a flight streak. I had a ringmaster, and they were a lot of fun. But my interest changed to stunt. We used to take this stuff out and get 4 or 5 guys in a circle and race. I don't think I can move that fast anymore. I dabbled in a little combat. Wasn't particularly great at it. I just didn't like tearing up my shit. Saw a head-on collision at Brodax. I don't know if I got it on tape or not, on film or whatever, on disc. And I didn't get Tim Stagg crash on video, but yeah. And then I think Tim just his wing flew off his smoothie. I hate to say it, but that's just poor planning. What happens is, normally when a wing folds or comes off, is instead of sanding on the buck, they've sanded that wing on the fuselage at the fillet, and the 16th gets thin and creates a stress riser, and when you pull a hard G, it just pops. So the trick is, don't sand there. Just, you gotta have at least, or got to have some type of structure to hold it together. But there's a lot of force on that wing. I've watched airplanes fly. You can see the wing bend. That ain't good. Now you wonder, how am I going to get them spar holes in there? Well, I'm going to sand them in. Damn that. Five more to do. You know, I didn't really realize how much shorts could help this channel. But we took in, got quite a few members on the shorts. I guess people's attention span are not hours long anymore. They're only 15 seconds long. I hope you guys like this Flite Streak build. I don't, like I say, I normally don't build stuff like this, but got given that engine, two engines. Wanted to bring back memories and piss people off. I showed Bob Hudak about Phillips entry. There's a lot of science to propellers. Snap that piece of wood. Glue that back. I don't think I want to mount the bell crank the way they suggest. They just don't stay in on the platform. We'll make it a compression spar. Two more. Hand's getting worn out. And I can skive up that tube and cut the holes and do the spar. We won't have a wing tonight. Maybe on Charles's program, but we won't have a wing in this program because I'm only going to last 2 hours, and then I got to eat dinner. Go as far as we can, and that's all I can do. But if you like this content, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and please ring the bell for notifications. Also, consider becoming a member. It helps me bring this content to you. Because nothing is free. One more. I think we might have to jig this up because I made the ribs. They may not fit the way that those die crush ribs fit. But we'll see. And they were die crushed too. They fit pretty damn good though. Okay, so now I think I need to cut a new one. There. The only reason why I need to cut a new one is I broke that thing and it's kind of bent. It's split. I mean, you probably could use it, but it's got to be perfect. So we got 3 and 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 and 3 is 16. Yep, we need to cut one more. They're not all exactly the same. We need to sand them. pretty close, so I'll sand out with a T-bar. Pues bueno. Okay, we need one more. Either one more or use that crappy one. Center ribs are different, so I'm going to leave them out of the mix. The hand fit those. Okay. You guys still with me? YouTube quit working? Close enough. Be close enough. Still here. Okay, great. Tom Rommel. Yeah. Yeah, yep, it'll be close enough. Okay. try the trailing edge now. That's good. There it is. Yep, be close enough. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to end the stream, hour and a half. My hand is cramping up from cutting them ribs. I need to slot them and hold them yet. I got to take this brass tube and put the holes in all the ribs, and then get a stick. I need to find a stick that I can sand those spar notches in there, and I'll do them all at once. That way they're absolutely perfect. I need to make a tool that I can notch these with, like a saw blade. Just run it across there. I don't have that, so I got to sand them. I will be using, I got to have something out of the kit on there. I will be using the spars, the leading and trailing edge. I doubt I use the wingtips because they're only 16th inch. I can't believe that they would use 16th inch wingtips. They're going to have to be at least 8th inch. We're going to polyspan this. I am going to do a Z-epoxy finish on it because that's quick and easy. How that goes down is you paint the whole airplane with Z-epoxy, take paper towels and wipe it all off, sand it with 320, and start painting dope. That seals the wood and light enough. You don't have to put tissue on the fuselage. All right, that's about all I got. I will see you after a bit. I'll probably be on when Charles comes on, tinkering on this, but for tomorrow in video 5, we should put the whole thing together. I should get the wing assembled tonight. I mean, pretty basic stuff. Stick the ribs in there, put the glue on it. Not a big deal. If I do something out of the ordinary, I'll tape it. All right, we'll catch you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the memberships, and thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. See ya.